everyone, welcome back to a video from Tiny Year by Agotapop, and I am going to pick another one from this page. I think this little cupcake is rather cute, so I'm going to pick that one to do. Let's put it in the middle. Should we come in a bit closer? What do you think? So we have a cherry, we have a little wafer, there's a little ladder which is intriguing, so let's have a little look. Sorry about that fiddle faddle, there we go. We also have some grass around the bottom which is interesting. I'm going to start with this wafer. You can see it's got a little pattern drawn on it. It's a lovely little heart shape. I'm going to start with what colour? I think a really pale brown. This is the palest colour we have, which is the brown ochre. So I'm going to put a light layer on. So I'm going really gently because I want to put some different browns on it, but I don't want it to go too dark because wafers are really light, but we don't have the kind of really, really light colour. Maybe I should have used an ochre, but never mind. So here is the sort of basic colour, and then where we have these little squares drawn on, I'm going to put another layer inside there to make it look like it's dipped in, because I think that's the whole idea, is that a wafer biscuit has like these little squares like this, and by making it darker it looks like shadow. It makes it look dipped in. I hope that's showing up well enough. Oh, I'm out of breath. I've just come up the stairs. I made myself a coffee. And my son, actually. He's doing okay. I'm pleased. I asked him if he wanted a drink, and he had some errors with his programming. And then I came back and he'd fixed it. I mean, it was only a quite simple error, but that's fine. It's making progress. Now I'm going to use quite a dark colour, dark brown. This is the walnut brown. I'm just going to sharpen it. I want it really sharp. I'm just going to use it on the edges of each square, and then we're going to brighten it slightly. Just around the edges, holding my breath as I go. Don't do that. Because it's intricate and it's drawing, which is not my forte. But I'm just tracing over lines here. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm okay. And I'm going to go over the top of the whole thing with an ochre. I'm going to use this lightish one. Actually, this is the Naples yellow. And it will just brighten it, fill in the gaps that I've left. And I might make it look a bit too yellow though. Never mind. You might want to use a beige if you've got one. I mean, there isn't one in the Polychromos, but you might have a Prisma beige or something. Oh, pencils are running all over the place. Now we have a cherry. Now in certain pencil sets of really good cherry colours, I sort of like the madder for cherries, so I'm going to try that. I might want to darken it a little bit, but I'm just going to start with a light coating or layer of this. Like that, and then think about, I want it darker on the edge, like that. I quite like that darker shade all over. I'm actually going to make it that dark and then get something else to the edge. I'm just going to sneeze, hang on. Right, now I'm going to actually darken up the edge with the red violet. Okay, I think used this before, but I guess with a sort of Valentine's theme page we're probably going to be using quite a few of the same colours. And then I'm just going to fade it in like that, so a heavier line on that edge and then a sort of scumbled line just coming in and in there like that. And then back to our madder, I'm going to just go over what I've done. Ooh. Right, so back to the madder. And just bring it in more. I want a bit less in the middle, but not too white. There we go. Now, if you've got a black cherry, the stem is quite often black, but this is more of a red cherry, so I think the stem will be green. I want it quite dark and intense. I'm going to start with the hooker's green. I'm not sure it's quite the right colour, but I think it'll be a good base to get started with. So yeah, it's not really what I want, but it is definitely a good base. So I'm actually going to just put down a pretty evenish layer of this to start with. Like that. And then maybe, I'm thinking maybe this chrome oxide green might help with it, make it even darker. Yeah. And then I'm thinking that maybe the bottom would be a little darker on the leaf than the top. So if I sort of gently fade this up a bit, I want to cover all of it so that the tone works, if you know what I mean. But still a bit less at the top. And I'm just going to actually grab the earth green yellowish just to do the very top, so it's a bit lighter but still more burnished. There we go. Okay, now we have our sort of cream and a little heart. We can do the heart later. Thinking of the cream, now we can do it in a pink, which seems the sort of Valentine's way to go. But I'm actually thinking if I do that in cream and then do a pink cupcake case, because my last one, I'll show you, I did it in purple. You can see that. So there's an idea for you, but that's not how I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do it in a cream colour. So this is the actual cream pencil. Now it's quite more intense than you might imagine. So I'm just going to start with a light layer. Because you can build it up, build up the layers. But we want to think about where it might be darker and lighter with regards to the shadow. So I'm thinking the bottom of each bit might be darker. I want to layer it up a bit more at the bottom. And as you can see, as you layer it up, it actually starts to look a little bit yellow. So you have to be a little bit careful. But I just think it's a little bit different than doing just pinks and purples on everything. There we go. And you could, of course, do it chocolate, which is always nice. There we go. So I'm just layering it more at the bottom and then sort of scumbling up and just putting less colour nearer to the top like that. There we go. I quite like that. Now the heart, I'm going to go with the chocolate I'm thinking, because I'm not sure that pink and purple are going to go with that cream colour particularly well. So, and I'll just let's do something different. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go for the nougat. Now it's quite a good, I think it's quite a good chocolate brown. So we'll see. Now, because it's a piece of chocolate, I'm thinking a sort of just a moulded piece of chocolate, or an actual, you know, whole chocolate. It would be quite solid, so I'm trying to layer it up quite a lot. And I might put a little shine on it just to make it look like it's tempered with a white pen a little bit later. There we go. We'll put a shine on that cherry as well. I got a little ladder next. I'm just gonna, where's my brush? Here it is. Sweep, sweep, sweep. So the ladder, we'll do it a lighter colour to what we've done for the chocolate. So I'm going to grab my raw umber. It's getting quite small, this pencil. Let's give it a sharpen. And I'm just going to do a light layer. I nearly started singing then. I've been revisiting some old songs that I liked when I was really young, and it's amazing. So I liked a particular band when I was what age? I must have been a teenager. Wet 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 they were called. I'm not sure exactly when they started. I used to read, I used to watch Top of the Pops all the time, read smash hits, so when they had their first single out, I knew about them right away. I'm going to just go dark around the edges of all of this. So right from the beginning, I can't, must have been in the 80s, I'm thinking late 80s, I'm not sure. And I was having a look at some of their old stuff, listening to some of their old albums on Spotify, and it's amazing how you just know all the words. And I don't have those old tapes anymore because I don't have a way of playing tapes, but I can still remember the words of those songs from back then. But I can't remember things like things I learnt in history at school, but I can remember work. But I suppose I'm thinking in this case I'm going to do it in a reddish pink and do some sort of stripe or something. So alizarin crimson. So yes, I would have listened to it over and over again so many times that I guess that is why I would know it so well. Whereas my history lessons I only went to once, and I probably didn't ever reread my notes very much, maybe once for an exam. So that might explain why. But it is fascinating how the words, it just comes back to you. Whereas sometimes I can't remember what happened yesterday. But I guess it's partly about enjoyment too, you know. Such happy times singing along. I want to do one across as well. Now it can often be tempting just to do a straight line, but because this isn't straight, the lines aren't going to be straight, so I'm going to try to sort of make them parallel with that, but it's not working, so I'm just going to do a straight line in the end, go against what I said. So do it straight. I think it'll look better in the end. I'm going to sneeze again. Oh dear, I don't know why I keep sneezing. There we go. Now you can leave it like this, or if you want to, you can sort of add a background colour that's not white. Quite like the red and white, to be honest, but I'm really not feeling this because I don't feel this straight line works with this one. I'm actually going to fill it all in. I don't like it. I can still see those stripes though. So I'm going to do something different. I'll just fill it all in, and then I'll think about whether I want to put some shadows in. I think I do. Oh dear. There we go. Now, just going back over it again. Now, I'm going to grab the dark sepia. Now this time I'm going to have to get it right because this is quite a dark colour. Put in some shadows, firstly from this little ladder. So I'm thinking I'm going to shadow everything to this side. So under here as well. So it looks like it's just creating a little bit of a shadow on our cupcake like that. And then there's going to be a bit in here, and I'm thinking we'll just put a bit in where we've got these sort of lines. Maybe there'd be a bit at the bottom. That's better. And then I'm going to go back with my crimson, just go over those shadows a little bit so not quite so stark. Like that. Silly nose. There we go. Now we've got this little grassy bit at the bottom to do. I think I'm going to do it with, my pencils are rolling everywhere, earth green yellowish. Okay. Now I think the way it's drawn it actually implies that grass is coming right down here. So this bit needs to come down here a bit. And you could do a background behind as well, but I think this will be just fine. This little bit of green at the bottom. I actually felt last one I didn't do the grassy bit at all. I just left it, but this one. What's the ladder for? So someone can get up there and have a little eat of the cake, do you think? Now, I am just not sure about these lines between the layers of cream. Whether I want to put a bit of shadow in, a bit more than I've done, and if so, what colour? I'm going to try. Now, don't copy me until you've seen the final thing in case it all goes a bit big. So I'm going to use the warm grey 4, and I just want to put a little bit there, like here. Sort of where they're overlapping. And a bit here. I don't know if it's making a huge difference. And draw a heart too. There we go. I shall leave it there. So here's our cupcake. I can still see those underlying stripes actually. Yeah, let's just tidy that up a bit. That's better. No, the reason that's much better, the reason I've got very much into Marty Pello is because I think he's on The Masked Singer. Everyone's saying he's the wolf. You'll know, I think, if you watch it, because I think it would have finished by now. Not sure, might not. Anyway, there we go. There is our finished cupcake. That's quite a red case, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, it's done now. Thank you for watching today. I will pick another one to do for tomorrow. Haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see what it is. But thank you for watching. Hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.